Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Happy Wednesday, what's left of it. Welcome to a Wednesday semi-overnighter for the day of, the remaining 12 minutes of September 4th, 2024. It's my birthday this weekend. If you are local here in town, I demand you bring your tribute to the Sci-Fi Center. Leave it at my feet and treat me like the king that I am. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know what I'm planning on doing for my birthday, to be honest with you. I am more than likely going to spend it at the center because that's where I enjoy being. I mean, there's generally, and any special day. I mean, I don't consider birthdays as special as like holidays and things like that. I generally spend my holidays at the center unless we were here doing, a watch parties and stuff like that. But for the most part, New Year's Eve, I spent it at the center. I mean, so who knows? Hey, so I don't know where the hell Brad is, but anyway, this week shows our sponsors, Warner Brothers Pictures, Beetlejuice in theaters pretty much everywhere by this point. Officially in theaters this Friday, but all the preview screenings and all that. We did send some people to Beetlejuice last night. Let's take a look at the pictures. We're going to go on Instagram because our request was that the majority of the people that were there, we wanted you to dress up, either goth or cosplay, something like that. But some people really went all out, so I'm going to go ahead and bring those up. There we go. Bam. Present screen. Go. All right, so I wasn't there for this one, as I told you guys before. I'm not going to see Beetlejuice. But there you go. There's the promo screen that whenever you walk into a pre-screening, that those are there for you. Let's see, how can I get this bigger? Full screen. Yeah. All right, so there's the preview screen. There's one of our people that dressed up. A lot of people posed with this guy because he went all out. That's his wife. There's Brittany, one of our local cosplayers. She was there. She played a sultry Beetlejuice. There you go. That's her. And don't be sending marriage proposals. She's already taken.
Premiere.
Oh, hold on. I hate these earphones sometimes. Maybe that's my fault.
Anyone else else going to the Beetlejuice premiere?
So yeah, everybody who we got tagged all over the place. I got some of them in here too, but yeah, she went all out. Beetlejuice was a tag, so and then we were supposed to tag Warner Brothers Pictures there. There's a guy who just, something as simple as just wearing a shirt. He's wearing a shirt. Anything with stripes on it, I guess we were in. This is the thing that they had set up at the movie theater, and the guy in the middle is actually one of our guests. He fit right in that picture. And I cut the head off of that one. And then there's a couple of my customers. She dressed up. They wanted either goth or they wanted Beetlejuice outright. That was that one. What else did we do? There's another movie we're giving tickets away for. If you guys are on our social media, James McAvoy's newest one, Speak No Evil. I actually have the Dave Bautista one that we're giving tickets away to as soon as I get done with this show. We're going to take a look at it. This is something I did for my Funko Pop, especially my Blade Runners.
Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of.
I just played this little speech. They're probably going to take that down because that's what YouTube usually does. But yeah, Beetlejuice was fun last night. Everybody had a ball. Good reviews on the movie. So mission accomplished as far as that goes. All right. Another thing I wanted to bring up is we are somewhat near a milestone. This isn't quite the one that I'm aiming at, but we are still at 95,000 views achieved earlier this morning. So we are 5,000 views from 100,000, which is right where I thought we once we reach our certain page, as our average pace goes along, we should reach 100,000 views somewhere near early to mid-September. We're already in early to September, so I'm going to guess right around mid-September is when we'll reach 95,000 or 100,000. All right, what else do I have here?
Well, you know what that means. We got to play an undisputed marathon, then we'll get to 110,000 overnight.
Preferably something that people will watch.
And there you go. There's your choice. That's obviously.
By the way, speaking of things people watch, and listen, Brad had his chance. Terminator viewing party. Yeah, I mean, I think Mother Nature got it right.
Mother Nature got it wrong. I can assure you that.
Terminator passed 400 views on a Saturday afternoon. So
yeah, I had a feeling that was going to do well with it was really going to draw an audience.
Yeah, and a lot of the Saturday watch parties have done well. I think it's a thing about, if you guys have the opportunity to pick a show that's going to take you into the AM into the next morning, or a show that's in a decent hour. It looks like you guys are gravitating towards that one that's in a decent hour, which I can't blame you. I mean, I'm a night owl, but like I said, it's go ahead.
That's also a Saturday, afternoon, or midday or like late afternoon for, depending on where you are watching. I mean, for Aaron, it's like, Sunday morning, whenever she drops in. But still, it's like, it's, I think it's the way, people just kind of, I think people are more and more kind of seeing it as a way like it's almost like going to a matinee now for like a lot of our audience.
Also, if you're, I mean, some of these things last 5 hours. So after I've taken 5 hours of your day, might not want to give me another 3 or 4. Depending on
we haven't even gone that long on the Saturday show in several weeks. So.
Yeah, I've been cutting it down simple because I'm considering the fact that if you're a returning viewer, you literally could spend 8 hours with us. I don't know if that's good for business. All right. Well, let's sit the chat in order, and then we'll go ahead and jump into the 2 topics that I have, and then anything you might have brought along with you.
Yeah. Okay. Good day, William, Brad, Vince. Those more people here in the chat. Awesome. Aaron, of course, agrees with me on everything I just said about what would get us.
Well, that's what a cult. That's what a cult is.
It's what people who get it are. That's what it is. How's it going to be the Clint with the duck? That's going to get us negative views if we get more Howard the Duck on here. Did you ever get a chance to listen to the Tool songs that she just said?
He's talking.
That's between us. She says she has. How's it going, Rhea?
Oh yes, hit the like, subscribe button. Your mic just went out.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it just kind of like did that thing where it kind of like said something.
Yeah. Clint. What time is it for you now, man? You don't want to interfere with your,
Yeah, it's 11:50
day tomorrow.
You've been up so early.
Let's see what else you guys got. Oh, Ray was able to see Beetlejuice too. Yeah, I'm debating whether or not to do that tomorrow or save it for Friday, because I was thinking about, it's like the latest, because with my kind of schedule these days, if I see a Thursday show, it's just got to be a late show. It's preferably like around 9:30 or 10, and my theater just doesn't do those like they used to, pre-COVID. So the last one tomorrow night is 9 o'clock. So it's like I'm just be getting out of the school right when that starts. So it's like I'd really have to scramble, get home, shower real quick, get over there. So I could probably pull that up. But I probably
Don't they have a shower at your dojo that you can just hit there and leave?
No,
Oh,
unfortunately,
wow.
no. Yeah. Well, I live close. I'm only like a mile away from the place, so that's. But I'm debating, like, should I do that or should I save that for Friday night? Or I could also do like 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday, because my theater's doing more of that now, and we're the early morning shows.
Yeah, I made my decision. I made my schedule a lot easier. Like I said, I'm just not. This is never a Beetlejuice fan, but you guys. Like I said, I love the fact that I was able to.
By the way, speaking of, I'm going to share this. This is one I had go up on Screen Rant last year, because this is actually one that, let me pull this up for you guys. It's kind of pertinent since we just did the Terminator watch parties. But I remember I had Sleepy Hollow on. I don't know if I mentioned this previously, but this is an article a feature I'm really proud of. So I had a Sleepy Hollow on like in the lead up to Halloween last year, and I think that's one of Tim Burton's best movies, even though it's got diddly squat to do with Washington Irving's Sleepy Hollow. But this time, for some reason, like it just jumped out at me watching it this time last October, is that because it changes up things massively from the Washington Irving story. But you look at it back then, or what Tim Burton did, it's like he did he did Sleepy Hollow as a Terminator movie, if you think about it. Yeah, sorry, clear my throat there, guys. The stuff these kids bring into school, sometimes it's like you get like a halfway cold.
You've been sick for like a month now, dude.
No, I've been fine. But so this really just leaped out at me. This time I revisited Sleepy Hollow last October. Again, it's very, very different from the book. But like, look at the way it portrays the Headless Horseman, where it's like the villain, she digs up his skull to kind of send him on these assassination missions, and her goal is to get rich out of that. But you look at the way the Headless Horseman's portrayed in it. He's basically a Terminator. He's a assassin. He's programmed, in a manner of speaking, because she has his head, and she's doing this witchcraft ritual to sort of say, okay, take this Sleepy Hollow resin out, take this one, this one, this one. So there's that aspect of it. He's targeting specific people. He won't attack anybody who's not attacking him. So we kind of see that how that unfolds in the movie. He's similarly invincible, unstoppable as the Terminator is. In some ways even more so, because he's returning from death, and so he's basically immortal. So yeah, this is one I really it's the case where like I had something. Sometimes you just have like a fire just lit under your ass, and I'm like, oh man, I really want to get this out of my system and really put it out for the world to see, put it on type it up, and that's what this was. So I'm sharing it with you guys. I'll share it in the chat. But yeah, this is one I really enjoyed writing. In my time with Screen Rant, this Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow is essentially like a supernatural Halloween kind of a spin on Terminator. So that'd be a good watch party to do, I think, around Halloween.
Sleepy Hollow. We got.
But again, think about that though. It's like the way that portrays the Headless Horseman. He's portrayed basically like a supernatural kind of Terminator in Tim Burton's movie. So yeah, I just shared it for you guys in chat. So okay, I just had to get that plug out there.
All right.
And Chappie, Brad, what do you think of the not so good Minecraft trailer? I have not seen it.
I'm not a fan of Minecraft, so I'm not the guy to ask, to be honest with you. I've heard people who like Minecraft say it looks silly, but Minecraft generally looks silly to begin with, so I don't. I saw it, but I'm like, I don't know what are my parameters here. So
let's see. Azteca says it's going to be 113 degrees Thursday. Are you in Vegas too?
Nah, I think he's in Arizona.
Okay, it's actually
I
cool.
don't know. I actually no, I don't know where he's. I think he might be in California.
It's cooling
Because
down for
everywhere,
me
yeah.
actually. It's starting to finally feel like fall, which is nice because this summer was like the heat was just absolutely oppressive.
We're still in the high 100s right now. It's about to fall. You know, the bottom is about to fall out from under it, but it was still. We're in that last throes of the heat, and you just know it's about to end.
William, how you celebrating your birthday this week?
Probably just working at the store, to be honest with you.
And we're going to celebrate, obviously, with Life After Fighting, because that's the only logical way to celebrate William's birthday.
Would I celebrate with a movie I've never heard of until you and Aaron bought it?
Yeah, again. By the time it's over, this last 40-minute stretch, it's like, oh,
But here's the thing, no, not to make fun of the movie. I'm not a martial arts movie guy. It's just not my thing. It's just like there's certain music I'm not into. There's certain I'm not a rom-com guy. I'm not a human interest guy. It's just nothing against those movies. I'm just not now. If you intertwine it into the genres that I'm in, then I'm already there. You know what I mean?
And guess who introduced the examples of those happening? This guy, Skyline.
Yeah, Life After Fighting just sounds like kind of sounds like melodrama, isn't it? And then would it be classified?
No.
What's his classification? Is this martial arts or what?
It's as far as like what the plot is.
What genre would it be considered?
It very much martial arts.
Okay, see, I'm just not a martial artist guy. I mean,
we've done like Roadhouse, we've done Monkey Man, we've done.
Yeah, we've done those, but like
Monkey Man's sci-fi.
We're talking about what I'd be watching on my birthday. I mean, it's like I would not be watching those. I would probably watch something in the genre that I am in. Like you're not going to catch me watching Thelma and Louise on September 11th. It's not going to happen.
Have you ever watched that, by the way? Because you talk about Ridley Scott.
I've seen every Ridley Scott film.
But you said okay, so you said you make the analogy would be like liken it to like Snyder related stuff. You say it's like I'd rather eat dog food from the can than Thelma Louise, but you have actually seen Thelma Louise.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not. I think it's the film I least rewatch when it comes to Ridley Scott because it's outside the genre that he is really good at.
Yeah, actually, what would you say is like his? Because he's done a lot of sci-fi, but would you say that's like his staple genre? Because he's also done like historical period stuff. He's done.
None of it's as good as his. I mean, Gladiator is great, but I mean that's not if you had to take one off the table for me, Gladiator or Blade Runner in a heartbeat is Gladiator, and I like Gladiator. I love Gladiator, but that's just not Ridley Scott for me.
Let's see. Okay, what else you guys got for us though? We got some 2B love in the chat for whatever reason.
Well, I think fourth is literally being paid.
Is what?
I think is it fourth?
Let me see. Oh, this whole rabbit hole about where this began. I'm just go back to where I was. All right. Let's see. They need to bring back the cartoon. You mean the Beetlejuice cartoon?
They are.
Yeah. Oh, they are. I wasn't aware of
that. I saw that they're redoing. Or I don't know if they're bringing it back.
Because
they're bringing back all the episodes.
Because that's the only as far as any kind of anything to spring out of the the original movie. That's the only. That's why you like the comparison, like Michael Keaton returning as Batman versus him returning as the Flash or returning as Beetlejuice, because we'd had multiple iterations of Batman post Michael Keaton in the years. In fact, we had how many did we have? We had and I'm going to include Conroy in this. Used to be Conroy.
No, rest in peace, Conroy. Because like I said, the live action is where that.
Well, even if we just keep it strictly at that, we've had Kilmer, Clooney, Bale, Affleck, and Pat. So we had 5 Batman since Keaton, but there's only been one Beetlejuice, and the only if you're talking about if we're thinking this strictly a live action conversation, even that's you wouldn't envelop the Beetlejuice animated series in that. So the only live action Beetlejuice thing we've had is the original movie until now, unless you want to count the Universal Studios ride, which I mean that's who's
most people will never get to Universal Studios.
Yeah.
I would have to say that. Like I said, sometimes when you don't mess with the franchise in the interim, that's the biggest advantage you have over some of the things that have had several different interpretations of them. So Batman is one of those. So.
Hey, Beetle Bob was fun in the movie. Okay. Now, Rhea, this might be a spoiler, but because I've had this theory that or this idea, this educated wish, you might call it, And then the best way to open up Beetlejuice would be like he's still in the waiting room 36 years later from the end of the last one. He finally gets his number called. I mean, does that happen? You confirm or deny that? Please let me know. That's spoilers. I don't know if that, because it'd be right at the beginning of the movie. So I don't even that would that qualify. Can it be a spoiler if it's right at the beginning of the movie?
I mean, yeah, because look what happened with Alien Romulus. That very soon into that movie, you had a major character that wasn't there.
I'm not gonna be G. Davis.
I mean, I would. There's so many people right now as Beetlejuice. Come on.
I've heard some of the reviews that Jeffrey Jones's character, they handle him in kind of an interesting way because he couldn't return. Well, there a number of cast members, from the original don't return. Some of them for good reason, and he would be among that. So they kind of handle a Charles Dietz character in sort of an interesting way, from what I've heard from early reactions. Let's see.
I don't think Joker's going to make $1 billion. No, but I don't know what underperform is anymore. I mean, it's really so. I mean, if something makes $500 million and you only keep it in theaters, and you turn around, you put it on a different platform where you can make the lion's share. What is? See, in order to say something, the only way you can say something underperformed for sure is if it loses money. Like we were talking about Tenet last night, that underperformed, that lost money. But it's hard to say what the goals of the theater are because we're only speculating. Even when we have our numbers of what things cost, that's a lot of that speculation. That's not them giving us those numbers. So I don't know. I mean, if I don't know what the goal for Joker is as far as what makes it makes it a success. And the underperformance is really solely, for the most part, based on the people who spend the money because it's their money that they're trying to get back. So it underperforming for us, yeah, that's we don't have much skin in the game.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of financials, you want me to pull up the thing I sent you regarding the Warner Brothers stuff?
Did any other source
it hasn't? Yeah, because it hasn't really gone it hasn't blown up yet. But it's like I saw some people share it, so I thought, oh, this is kind of interesting. And before I actually do that, we have a super chat. Let me go and
I'm trying to find it. Why can't I find it? Oh, here we go.
Episode 6 of the Where Balloon podcast thought it was interesting when it's the Storm solo book drop. Thank you for super chat, Paul.
Storm solo books drops, I think, this month. I'm pulling up my solicitations. So hold on.
Anyway, yeah, guys, I'm debating whether or not I should Beetlejuice either tomorrow night or save for Friday. It's like, it was so perfect. It was for Labor Day because I just had a 4-day weekend. I would have been so perfect. Because I would have been. I could have done that very easily. It's on a Thursday night. Because I think the last time we went to the theater was when I saw The Crow with Ashley, and that was like, again, we didn't enjoy either of us enjoy that.
October 2nd, Paul. October 2nd. So not have it on the shelf. Okay.
What else you guys got? Oh, you want me to show? You want me to zoom? You want me to do an Ian theater out of theater action in my car?
Yeah.
Because I just got that. I just bought it last back in July, so I haven't even had that long. I like it a lot, but it's better. Again, it was definitely time to trade up. It's actually it was a police car originally.
Your car?
Yeah, the family I bought it from. It's actually one of the families from school. They had a few. They kind of rounded up, and they were all decommissioned police cars. Mine was the only one they had that they had taken the lights off the top of it.
The Blues Brothers.
Yeah. So you guys got. Yeah, I really dig Sleepy Hollow a lot. That's just Tim Burton. Just so you could tell, he was just like he did not have any barriers on that at all.
Yeah, there's not a lot to. It's the Shaw Law Firm that's doing it.
Oh yeah, you talking about the thing I sent you?
Yeah. I'm just looking at.
Well, because this is something William and I were talking about. We were talking about it when we wrapped up the show last night. I didn't bring it up because I was like I didn't want to necessarily strike too much of a nerve on the Warner Bros. Discovery stuff. But I mean, it could definitely be another notch, and just this company is just ongoing downfall.
Yeah, so it's basically, so the only news. So without bringing an article up, it's basically there's a law firm in LA that is looking into filing lawsuits. Like I said before, fraud allegations against Warner Brothers Discovery after the devaluation of the $9.9 billion that happened. I remember when that happened, I brought up the F word because I'm like, if you have people investing on the premises that your company's worth something, and then it turns out that it's not, then you are opening yourself up to a lot of investigations, fraud being one of them. The biggest hurdle that the people are going to they're going to lose this lawsuit, by the way. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're going to lose this lawsuit. And the investigation is going to go nowhere. And the reason why it is really, really, really hard to prove intent. You can take action against somebody when it comes to incompetence, but when you throw around the word fraud, you got to be real careful because you have to prove intent to deceive, and that's going to be almost impossible. You can prove incompetence because I mean that's the math that does that for you. If you devalue or misplace or your numbers are off by that much, that's incompetence no matter what. But the fraud angle of it is going to be something that I do not think they're going to be able to prove because they will not be able to prove intent over incompetence. So that's where I read into that article and I looked at a lot of different places. I think a lot of places are scared to touch those allegations right now because there are legal, you're openly accusing a company of fraud over an investigation that's been opened. We don't know where that investigation is going. We could never hear about that investigation again. Even though I think that, somebody should look into how that happened, I don't think you would ever be able to prove the intent of fraud. And it's a strong go around. So.
Well, as William says, though, I mean, on the question of like how you lose $10 billion, it's like you can definitely get them on incompetence.
Or you think that much of your company that you overvalue by that much, but it's your company. You have information that I don't have. You have everything. You have the internals. You have the things that most of these YouTubers talk out of their ass about knowing. The company has all that, so they do have an explanation. They do know they're over their shoulder with an explanation. I just don't know if it reaches to the level of fraud yet. Now, if the SEC takes up the case, gets involved, things like that, then you may have an issue. But in that most case scenario, it might just be a fine. It wouldn't be anything criminal, or felony.
All right. See you later, Vince.
Both you are you and Clint going to the same place?
Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. You want to go and jump into the topics then?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the Batman, which is a very endearing. So let's go ahead and do that.
Oh yeah. We had a trickle of production information kind of come out from Matt Reeves, to be fair. But again, as we keep saying with this company, and it's just at least as of right now and for the foreseeable future, it's like everything has an asterisk on it in terms of like timelines and does it even happen?
I do think the Batman 2 is happening.
Well, I think that the Batman 2 is like that. That's on much more solid footing than everything else they got cooking. But yeah.
All right, the Batman 2 will shoot next year, and we are finishing up the script now, says director Matt Reeves. Colin Farrell's Penguin is back, but the sequel won't include supernatural villains like the Gentleman Ghost. We would never, and this is what I love about this one, we would never go into the full fantastical. It's meant to feel quite grounded. It doesn't mean that you won't see characters that people love. That's exactly what we want to do. Gentleman Ghost is probably pushed a bit too far for us to be able to find a way to do. But there is a fun way to think about how we would take characters that might push it into the bit of fantastical and find a way to make sense out of that. What he's saying there, and a lot of people, and this is why, like I said, the idea of Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' Batman having anything to do with James Gunn's Superman was ludicrous, and that's being kind. This guy has created his own world. And having this type of variety, I think, really needs to be not just something that DC inherited. Because, like I said, I think if the current regime had been in power, we wouldn't have gotten a Matt Reeves Batman. It just wouldn't have happened. You'd have gotten some substitute bullshit, in which case, in a lot of ways, the Batman already is, but you would have gotten Batwoman or something. I mean, you'd have gotten anything but an A-lister. So I think that other than inheriting a situation like this, like inheriting in Joker, those weren't their ideas. That's just something that they got to deal with because both of those made a lot of money. So, but when he says things like this, if you ever read the comic books, and I know the vast majority of people who will ever view these IPs anywhere will not read the comics, but that is the strength of DC. You can have a Batman that doesn't have the goofiness, or doesn't have the fantastic, doesn't have the Clayface that might appear in Matt Reeves' Batman is the actual guy who changes his face around with a mask, or a Malibu mask or something like that. There's another Clayface that is literally like the T-1000 type of situation. Now that one would appear in a James Gunn type situation or somewhere else, but it wouldn't appear in his.
By the way, William, it's like you got our DMs up right there. It's Aaron's pointing out. I mean, it's nothing like incriminating there.
No.
It's just like you just see the article I sent them there.
Yeah, that's literally the article. I would take it down, but there's nothing in there. But I lost my train of thought. Okay. The Riddler that you saw in the Batman is different than a Riddler that you might see in a James Gunn or anybody else's universe or a Tim Burton or anything like that. Other people will put the giant, he'll be wearing the green suit. He'll be wearing the vest. He'll be wearing, the big giant cane with a question mark, which is perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. It's just that there is a market out there for something that is not that. And I hope that, the things that Scott Snyder's doing on paper and what has already been done in film shows them that, like I said, the biggest thing that DC could do to win me over and get me all in is to completely abandon the one universe at a time. And I don't mean Joker and the Batman. That's your examples, but I'm talking about in general. I'm not talking about things that they didn't really come up with themselves. Like I said, they inherited the Joker situation and they inherited the Batman. And those things made money, which is very much what they need now. So that choice is already made. But I'm talking about as a way of, practice. Like if I want, like I said, that crime procedure story that I want to see with Batman on TNT, I think there's a market for that. And your tone is so different. Like what Matt Reeves is doing is probably going to be spectacularly different than what James Gunn is doing, given the characters you already know that are going to be in Brave and the Bold. I don't even think that's going to be in the title, by the way. It's just a working title. But by the time he gets to Batman, he's got Damian in there. He's got the Bat family in there. That's not the Batman that's in a Matt Reeves Batman. That's not in a Batman that's primarily in Detective Comics when he's solo without anyone else but him and Commissioner Gordon and some other cops. So there's a market out there for what Matt Reeves is doing. But once Matt Reeves he's got 2 more movies at the best. I mean, as far as this particular trilogy goes, where do we go from there? Whether I like James Gunn's version of Batman is irrelevant. Is that all I want? Do I want, if you want to go and do a fantastical Batman and have him, riding in Wonder Woman's invisible, jet with her, that's wonderful. That's great. There is a market for that. There's a place for that. But there's also a place for these other forms of Batman. And I love the fact that between Matt Reeves and Scott Snyder, we actually are fleshing that out. And I hope that, like I've always said before, that the people who are paying attention, the people who want to actually maximize these, are sitting back and taking a look at this. Because you run the risk of, okay, you present your DCU version of these characters and people don't like it. Like I always say, you struck out on one particular way to make money off of that customer. Does that mean you just throw your bat down and go back to the dugout and never come up to the plate again? No, you get all the money. That's how you stay in business. So I'm happy to hear him say that. I know I heard a lot of feedback going the other way. Well, we're tired of the grounded this and the grounded that. You've had one really grounded movie because Nolan's Batman really, in my opinion, wasn't really it was almost too Gotham. Gotham is a character in Batman, and if you're doing it right, in my opinion, Gotham is as much a character as Commissioner Gordon, any of the crooked cops, and any of any other characters in there. The corruption about that go through Gotham PD and some of the local politicians. That's been part of Batman since day one. You don't see a lot of that in other portrayals of Batman. So, like I said, that's why I think the Batman is the most complete and the most accurate, as far as true to form, true to the core of what the Batman is supposed to be. That is the most accurate one. So I'm happy to hear him say stuff like that because he's got 2 more movies, I think. And like I said, I would bet on his 3 movies getting completed more so than I would bet on anything with the DCU, is because it's whoever. That's not a direction that the whole company is going into. It's his trilogy. A universe is something that if it goes further than you want to as an investor buying the company, you would stop at them, or otherwise you're going to end up with what Zazop ended up with, which is a bunch of entanglements that he never wanted and ended up having to get rid of. So I think the Batman is safe. I'm glad to hear it's filming. Matt Reeves is notorious in taking forever to get scripts together and making movies. So we're right on track as far as I'm concerned. What do you think about when you hear things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much the same as I feel. Yeah, it's definitely on much more of a solid foundation as far as their DC stuff and really the company writ large, as opposed to anything else going on right now. And yeah, I think if this universe is created from the outset to not be fantastical or have supernatural elements or metahuman elements. So yeah, just keep that as its footing. And of course, everything we said too about the 1 universe at a time attitude. Which I mean, the fact that the Batman is still ongoing, amid James Gunn's DCU and everything else. I mean, right there, they've got kind of like the counter argument to that, just sort of constantly staring them in the face. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I can stand it.
Okay, if I wanted to visit the Inland Empire, what city areas would you all recommend? I don't know. Don't. Just keep going. No, I'm just kidding. Home for me was San Bernardino. I mean, it's still vibrant. I mean, Riverside is still Moreno Valley. I mean, it's considered an empire, but home for me was San Bernardino. I mean, for somebody who has never been there before and didn't grow up in that San Bernardino that I grew up with, it's probably going to be a different experience for you because you never saw Central City Mall. You never saw Inland Center Mall. You never went to there's a lot of stuff that's no longer there in its capacity that you never saw, but you might come and think it's a beautiful city. All the things I have a connection in Inland Empire are pretty much gone. All the Air Force bases are gone. I grew up on Norton Air Force Base, and then after Norton Air Force Base was about to close, we were at March Air Force Base. They closed that, turned it into a drop center, or UPS center, something like that. Victorville, I mean, Georgia Air Force Base. A lot of these bases have closed. So a lot of my experience in Inland Empire was based on growing up in the military. I don't know what malls are there anymore, but Redlands is still good. Riverside, anything Riverside County is pretty decent. But like I said, take a visit to downtown San Bernardino is really good. Downtown San Bernardino is a true downtown. And when I say true downtown, it's old. It's one of those ones where you still have the buildings where the bottom rows of the buildings are where the shops and everything are, but you have those upper buildings where the shop owners live type of situation. And it's been around a very long time. San Bernardino is actually a pretty old city. And it's like I said, it's part of the largest county in the world. So go to downtown. If I would say that downtown San Bernardino is still special. So go there. We need to watch what? What do you guys? Nah, that was an old article. She's asking if you were back to work.
No, yeah, that's the one I did last year. So yeah, it's on the screen right now.
I'm just looking before I go. I mean, we're already doing disaster movie. I just don't want to blow a Saturday.
We are under no circumstances are we doing a double feature of any of that bullshit, Chappie.
Listen, Chappie.
No, Chappie. If you put a gun to my head and the head of all my family,
Chappie.
you could not get me to do this. Not in a million years.
This is a
No, okay. Not for any amount of money. If we were going, if this stream was going to be us, if I knew doing this would lead to the cure for cancer being discovered, I would not do it.
We would do it for far
Not,
reasons.
never, ever.
We've already pretty much got one taken care of. So we're already watching one.
I knew the cure for cancer would be discovered by doing this.
I
I would still not do it.
I would do it. I would do it for
I would know.
movies.
Not never, ever, ever. Two back to
back. Chappie, you know what to do, man.
Yeah, you know what to do. Just go off in La La Land and
you know what to do. You see.
Never happened.
On the lower.
Never, ever, 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 ever happen at Chappie. See what you're saying?
All you got to do
is it's not going to happen. Okay. On next subject. Okay. Next subject. We will not talk about spoof movies anymore for this evening, or I will immediately end the stream.
Chappie, Laura.
Not talking about spoof movies anymore tonight, or I will click. I'm hovering over end stream. Double feature. Never happened. You already know what to do. So I'll be paying attention to my right side of the screen. Never happening. I will not show up for that. You guys can do that yourselves. That's fine. Let's see. Superman Lives is banned from the stream. We don't need that. Anybody who would ever consider watching those two back to back, it's like, I can't consider you a friend. Okay. I'm not doing it because I love the movie, so I'm doing it for money. Sorry. Retro Cucamonga. Retro Cucamonga is I've been there. I mean, my God, you guys have seen how bad these spoofs are, and you want to watch more of them? Well, primarily it's your suffering they want to watch. I don't think they really. But it's like, no, at some point that runs its course. Nah. That runs its course. These people. There's no. I mean, it's you guys are just like every one of you is just a glutton for punishment. If that's what you want to go through. Look, have you seen our audience? I heard a lot of people bring up Deathstroke when it comes to. I think Deathstroke is a grounded villain, but he's borderline fantastic. But I can see a Deathstroke. I don't think you'd ever see a Deathstroke in a Matt Reeves movie because he's tied to too many things that you will never see in a Matt Reeves. I mean, Deathstroke's not even a Batman villain per se. He's a Titans villain originally. So, and a lot of his history is not with Batman; it's with them. And obviously, being affiliated and associated with them, he comes, But yeah, he's primarily a. Doesn't make me want to see him fight Batman any less. I.e., Batfleck versus Deathstroke. Okay, that's a different movie though. We're talking about like that fits, but I don't know if it fits. I don't think it fits in Dell Batman. Let's see. Oh no, that's okay. Like I said, some people have like really tawdry shit up on their screen. Mm-hmm. When they're going, but it's not like it's not like a dick pic or anything, or something bad, or like sexting or something like that. Yeah, it was just up there. It's like, oh, he was telling me the show's live, and that's all. It's really all our chat is. Yeah, pretty much. Is that? I mean, occasionally it'll be like we're us messaging back and forth about like, oh, this like bit of news dropped, and you want to talk about it in the show, but that's about it. Yeah, but our messages on there are generally, literally 90% of it is me letting him know we're live, him sending a link to me or me sending a link to him. But it's all show shit. So yeah. Plus, in fact, on my Twitters, if somebody rated my Twitter and opened up there's nothing in my DMs that's controversial. It's just really, I'm very boring when it comes to Twitter because I rarely use it outside of for the show and for the store. How you doing, Larry? Larry will make the disaster double feature happen, won't he? Anybody, it's like again, anyone who entertains that, it's like I can't. I just pity you.
You think they're going to take that personally? Yeah.
I just I mean, it's like it's like I mean it's like you're missing a chromosome or something if you're telling me you want to do a watch party of
Wow,
those
come
two.
on, that's harsh. This is our adoring public here. You can't. Come on. This is we just opened up the show with 90,000, 95,000 views thanks to these people, and you're just like, listen, the opinions of Sci-Fi Sitter and Brad, Brad's kind of hateful. Come on now.
Hateful
Brad,
minded.
listen, stay out of certain areas of San Bernardino for sure. Stay off of Foothill. Stay off of Waterman. Stay off of 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th Street. Stay off of Tippecanoe. I don't even know if the streetlights have been repaired up there again. But like I said, if you go to San Bernardino, downtown San Bernardino is where I would say go to.
Let's see.
I can't. I don't want to be late on
Yeah,
this.
I don't think we've settled on that yet. What we're going to be doing for Saturday, because we've done our tie-in watch parties for like stuff that's come out recently. So
and I don't want to fuck up my birthday. I know I still got commitments with some of these movies. I just don't want to fuck up my birthday with them. So unless, like I said, we do the Disaster Double feature, that's a birthday present for me because
it's going to be the worst birthday of your life if you actually voluntarily subject yourself to that and epic movie.
Hey man,
you are going to be paying for therapy after that. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll have the money to do it because somebody's going to put it.
The fact that you voluntarily inserted yourself into that.
Yeah, we'll add that to the price.
That just something that bad. And then, of course, the guilt that's going to come with it about trying to make me suffer for that.
Shaffy is the agent of chaos.
Chappie, you got to expand your horizons here, dude. I'm sorry, but it's just
Yeah, San Bernardino, it has its own zoo, the city of San Bernardino. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't dog.
Ghost has got a good one here.
Nah. You want to make me watch Alien 3? $, lower right hand side. I'll do it. I'll celebrate my birthday with suffering as loaded weapon. Nah.
Larry, as I said, if I knew we were getting, thank you for the super chat, but if I knew that watching these two back to back would lead to the cure for cancer being discovered, I still would not do it. So
yeah, we're like I said, it's gonna have to be like triple digits to get me to do that. Because I'm gonna have to wear special earphones because Brad's squealing is high pitched. It really can actually mess up your headset. And he'll be squealing the whole time.
But
he's not going to show up, but he'll be there.
But these two movies will mess up your brain chemistry and your sanity and your
will
to live and all kinds of things like that.
Our brain chemistry is done for. So thank you for the $20 support.
So add about 20,000 zeros to that, and I still won't do it.
Yeah, we'll work it out, guys. If you make it happen, we're gonna make it happen.
You make it happen. But like I said, it's like the cure for cancer would not motivate me to do this. If I knew,
should use the cure for
if
cancer.
I knew factually,
as your analogy of not cancer is a very serious. I would do anything to cure cancer.
Yeah, but not this. I would not.
Oh yeah, I would watch dudes.
Brad, at least I made it tolerable to watch this. Well, again, I got screwed out of that, but don't worry, we're making that happen.
And he blames it on me, and it's like I was in San Diego.
No, you won't let me do it now.
Because I don't want to blow a Saturday that I'm actually a present for.
Oh no, you want to blow that on epic movie, disaster movie?
I sure do for a price.
Yeah, you're gonna when you see live. I'm telling you, man, it's like you're gonna look at me. It's like you're gonna be begging my forgiveness. All of you will.
No. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And you can actually, if you look at that game when they are driving to downtown, you can see a lot of the City Hall building, which is a very pronounced building. You can see that there. Yeah, I do know that.
What is that movie even about? It's just these two idiots that got $20 million together and they just threw a bunch of it's like all the other spoof movies. They're so scattershot. It's like we're picking from Narnia and now we're pulling from Borat, and now it's going to be from X-Men, and now we're pulling stuff out from this that.
It's pretty much whatever is going on at the time. It's not really
Yeah.
true. And, you know what? The people who pay to see those movies, and a lot of people pay to see those movies, they don't care. Thank you for the $5 super chat.
There's no focus though. There's no structure.
There's no focus on the audience.
The jokes they have like 100% fail rate on the jokes.
For you, but like I said, I agree. But people. All right, nerd, Cosa Nostra. I take that wrench because I don't trust you. No, I'm just kidding. William and Brad, do you think we will reach a point where the days of remakes and reboots will be a thing of the past and more original ideas? Okay, I hope so, but here's the problem. The audience has to demand more. Like, for me, as a Superman fan, I never want to see the death of Superman again in my life. I've seen it enough in my lifetime. And that's a problem.
You're getting it.
That's a problem. You guys.
Wait, back up. Okay, so
clamor for originality, but you bring up a storyline.
You can't tolerate even one more iteration of Death of Superman, but you want to do a back-to-back watch party of epic movie disaster movie.
That's a joke.
Let me just make that clear to everybody here. This is William's standard, and this is the audience standard.
That's within the joking context of the show. This is outside of the show. The problem is your audience has to be smarter. Your audience has to demand
I agree,
more.
which is why we should not get more disaster movie.
If your audience doesn't demand more than a retread of a storyline that's been told way too many times, then that's what they're going to continue to give them. If you all you can do is skim through comic book lore and pick out the hot shot stories, then that's all they're going to give you. And they're not going to just do it once or twice because there's no thinking being done to it. I mean, that's the problem. The IPs are rich and open to new ideas and new things. It's just that you got these guys that do these things that are terrified. It's the same thing with a lot of these things. They trust the brand because the audience clamors to that brand. But you got to do something different. I do think at some point it'll happen when, like I said, a newer generation of people start running these studios. Because the newer generation, the millennials and generation, I don't want to see this shit over and over again. We really don't want to see this stuff over and over again. And a lot of the times, as we grow further and further apart, not every IP is worth a reboot. So for every Beetlejuice and Top Gun Maverick, you're not gonna have it. You're gonna have a Willow. Most of your things like that are Willows, because most reboots fail. So, but they're cheap to make for the most part, and they put on the nostalgia button. But no, I think it's not going to end until we get better, younger management in these things that are reading, better, parts of the IP. Like a guy growing up right now that wasn't a grown ass man in 1992, 1993, and doesn't give a fuck about doing the Death of Superman over again is going to actually do something. And I know this is a far off concept. I know this is gonna be tough for a lot of people. They might actually look at some other Superman stories and tell that. Holy shit, if that ever happens.
So to reiterate, guys, on the show tonight, William is on record saying he would rather watch a back-to-back of epic movie disaster movie than one more Death of Superman. Just on the record tonight.
When it comes to Batman, we haven't done a bunch of Broken Bat storylines again, but the one we have, that wasn't done very well, and B, that storyline, one of the saturators of the genre, and when it was released, and go try selling some of those for money. There was more to that story too. There was way more entanglement during the Night to the Nightfall storyline than a lot of these guys will probably skim off the top. So I guarantee you, the next guy that does a Batman story, he starts thinking about it. Oh, we need to break Batman's back again and bring in Bane, and that's your problem. You have a lack of imagination on both ends. You have a lack of imagination on the demanding end and a lack of imagination on the creative end. And as long as you don't fix one of those, you're going to continue to have the same tired shit over and over again. But I hope it ends sooner than later, nerd.
Okay, so one more time to reiterate, William has just made clear to everybody he would rather do a back-to-back watch party of epic movie disaster movie than one more take on Death of Superman.
To be honest with you, for me personally, they have the same value. They're dead ends. They have the same exact value.
Chappie,
dead.
Chappie, what have you done to my co-host? What it's like.
Listen. Even without, let's take the disaster movie out of it. The retreading that story is a
I'm
dead
pulling this up
end
right now. I'm pulling this. I'm sorry. This cannot go unanswered. I have to pull. I have to show you guys like a little
Don't
snippet
get
of
us kicked off of. If we get shut down, it's on you.
Okay, maybe let's put it in the chat
I'm
then.
sad to hear that, Jerry. Hope things get better. Whatever it is, I hope it gets better for you. Dude.
What's going on, man? Hey, you're not feeling ill, I hope.
Now, glad you were able to pick up on that, Joker.
But again, like a double feature of two of the worst movies to ever be vomited forth.
Thank you, music man. I don't like I said, we got it out of our system. An embargo, 25 years. And I know Scott Snyder was when we were at Comic-Con, he was thinking about doing it. I'm like, dude, just like the only thing that's a downer with this Absolute, because everything else about Absolute DC looks beautiful.
No, Chappie, let me reiterate, okay? If I knew doing that back-to-back the next day, somebody would discover the cure for cancer, but the only way that could happen is I had to watch these back-to-back. I would not do this watch party.
This part out. Where are we at? We are at 1 hour and 15 seconds. So I'm going to have to edit that out.
I'll just say it again.
It's a really horrible thing to say. Shit, I would watch. I would watch anything.
Do we need to watch these movies to make my point that much clearer? Oh, we could anything over a disaster movie. Yeah. Aaron's.
Yeah,
we could do.
You're right.
Yeah, and that's still like, I mean, the again, the fact that those words were uttered again, everybody should be losing sleep over that tonight. Aaron, we could do watch Party of Life After Friday during the week or doing it on Sunday. Yeah.
Probably doing probably during the week or a Sunday, but yeah, Saturdays are tough.
Definitely that. Let's see. Oh, and now, was there any other topic? What was the other topic we had? We had.
We're going to look at an Alien.
Oh yeah, we got the. Well, I mean, it's not like massively revelatory, but we did get the teaser for Alien Earth.
I'm going to bring by Ben.
No, it's not. None of these movies are underappreciated, guys. You have to snap out of it.
You hear the pitch to his voice. That pitch to his voice guy. That's hilarious. That stuff. That's.
I mean, it's like I feel like I gotta reach through the computer and just slap some people silly sometimes. Like,
don't hurt the woodpecker that operates your computer, because we want to hear him make that rat tat tat.
I mean, just the garbage I hear recommended for some of these guys when it comes to spook movies. It's like, what has happened to our audience? It's like it's like you took the opposite. You didn't even take the blue pill. Like, you took whatever the opposite of the red pill is. It's not. I don't want to be. It's not just I want to be continue being trapped in the Matrix. I want to be like just liquefied and fed to the other humans intravenously. That's what you guys are telling me when you're saying it's like superhero movie, disaster movie, epic movie, Meet the Spartans, all this stuff. Brad, you're not giving it its due credit. The hell I'm not. It's exactly as terrible as I make it out to be.
All right, I put this trailer because I don't want to play it here and get kicked off. All right.
Oh, we're gonna play the trailer?
Nah, we'll get bounced.
Well, I mean, it's not even that like that. It's not like a trailer per se. It's just a quick little just. I mean, I'm assuming you guys have seen it. And basically, it's just a quick look at the Xenomorph, and it says Alien Earth coming to Hulu next year.
We're not monetized on these streams anyway. So.
I thought we were.
We are, but for some reason our live streams don't get monetized. I mean, I could monetize them, but if there's all kinds of, we say some crude shit on this show. So and our listeners our viewers type in some crude shit in the shows. So.
Yeah, like recommending these terrible movies.
No, that's the
That is the crudest shit imaginable. Okay, so we are gonna play it
yeah, I guess so. I mean, we're gonna get thrown
again.
off.
Again, it's 15 seconds long. So
There you go. All right, so I'll be
how many
waiting.
episodes is it supposed to be?
I will be waiting for the notice on that one. I do not know offhand. Hold on.
I'm assuming they're gonna be dropping it weekly.
Yeah, it's Hulu, so yeah, they don't do the.
I guess we're finally bringing them to Earth.
Well, it's probably already been the. It doesn't tell me how many episodes.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
All right, the film premise reads that when a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth, a young woman, Sydney Chandler, and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat. And it plans like they plan on going on for a while. So what I need, obviously, there's going to be something in there that keeps it so that the knowledge of it doesn't get beyond a certain part of Earth, because obviously we would know. I mean, they would have already taken over Earth for the most part. So somehow they keep this threat discreet, and they stop it from manifesting itself in a world-ending manner, because obviously we've seen the movies that have come after that. So this movie comes before any of this, right? So we know for a fact that. But now they're saying it's a ship that crash lands. So where does this ship come from? We know David is. If we're saying 30 years before. All right. The series will serve as a prequel and will be set 3 decades before the events of the film Alien. All right, now where does Prometheus take place as far as the Alien timeline goes?
That is like 2098, I think.
So hold on, because I think it's before Prometheus, isn't it? I had this brought up the other day too on the screen.
Let's see. Look at some of the other. Okay, I'll give this a look. Slipknot. Yeah, send that to me, man. Let's see. Yeah.
All right, Alien Earth takes place 2092. Prometheus takes place the very next year.
Okay. So, Music Man,
All
Naked
right.
Gun, Airplane are very good. I agree.
So I don't know how they're going to explain another ship just crashing that's not lined up with Prometheus, but I'll let them do that. So
It's earliest. That does seem the place at the earliest in the timeline.
it's 1 year before everything else. It's 1 year before Prometheus.
Oh, Chad. So you agree they're bad? Oh, so you're dropping the act now and saying no, I know they're bad. Like I said, it's like yeah.
Why are we? Are you trying to get? I don't think I can show that without getting hit. Can I?
Is that up? Did that drop today?
I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to Terrifiers.
Let me go look. Yeah, we know Ruth definitely has. It's not. Well, it's not like today. It dropped. It dropped like a week ago.
Where's the official one though?
Let's see. Well, I guess the official one would be Bloody Disgusting.
Is that who made the movie?
Yeah, they're part of it.
I see it. I don't know.
It's got Art in the Santa Claus suit.
I don't know. That's the unofficial one. The official one will be right below it. The one from Bloody. If you're saying it's Bloody Disgusting,
Yeah.
is this going to get us fucked up?
What playing it or seeing it?
Both.
Well, again, I'm sitting back, so you can't blame Brad on this one.
Yeah, this isn't. Sorry, let me. Yeah, I don't. I think this is not only because it's a copyright, but it's the nature of the trailer might get us jammed up with.
Yeah, and again, the thing they're talking about with this is like we made it like we pushed it like 10 times further than the first two. It's like what could they do in this? It's like more just revolting than what they do in the first two.
Yeah, I'm not so I'll put the link to it in the. I'll put the link to it in the chat.
And again, we did a watch party at the second one, and actually, Ruth. I mean, it's like you would want to do. I think you'd initially want to do the first one. I mean, chronology is like I don't know how important that is to the series, but and that's why we had talked about. Where it's like the first one is it'd be a lot of it comes down to runtime of the two of them because the first one it's like it's just a nice tight like 85 minutes, so it's like it's gonna be just the goriest thing you can imagine, but it's still very compact, it's very streamlined, and it's 2 hours 20 minutes of Terrifier 2, so it's just so much of it, dude. And it's so I mean, I think how did you describe William? You said it's just like it doesn't have like a function other than just to just push the envelope.
That's really all it is. Terminator Zero is very good.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Well, minutes earlier, what are your predictions of the whole John Moxley storyline? Is he cutting up another stable? I think he is. I think he's going to end up being the one that wipes out the Elite and ending that storyline. That's just me. All right. Well, man, you guys need spoof movies. Like I said, I'll make time for the spoof movies. All you got to do.
Yeah. Well, and the standard I set, and I stand by that.
The lower right-hand side. Make it happen.
Yeah,
All right, that's all the topics I had. That was pretty much
like
it.
some actual good spoof, like Young Frankenstein or Robin Hood Men in Tights or Hot Shots or
Those two
Airplane.
movies suck, dude. Those first two movies, I wouldn't watch those. I wouldn't watch those if you paid me, I guess.
Young Frankenstein? You can't possibly be serious. That's one of the best spoofs of all time.
Sure.
Yes, it is. You know what else is good? Very underrated. Actually, is Dracula Dead and loving it.
See, you can watch that bullshit, but you can't.
Yes, I can. I can't watch 80 minutes of just nothing to say. Hey, here's something popular that came out. Laugh. And oh, by the way, it's like and nonstop, just dick and poop jokes in the interspersed with all that. It's like that's the formula for this nonsense.
Why am I Brad is not correct?
Yes, Brad is correct. Brad is always correct. Brad has never not been correct.
Yeah,
there you go.
Plenty of times. Even Mother Nature is like, fuck this guy. We're not playing this shit today. Let's take out his power. No, Brad Williams does not like joy, so why would he like him? I hate Spaceballs with a passion. I'm not personally. I'm not a spoof guy at all. I mean, I'm probably more against spoofs than you are. But you act like putting bleach into your veins or something.
How far did we get into Meet the Spartans before William said, "Yeah, Brad, you're right. This is God."
I could have told you at the beginning. I know every spoof movie we probably watched is going to be bad.
And then we did Cat in the Hat. We got I think we got halfway into it, and William's doing like I am. I was like, "What the fuck are we watching?"
Yeah, it's not like I go into these movies with any illusion that they're going to be good. It's business.
Yes, but sometimes you have to weigh business and mental health, too. No business
is bad
for your mental health. Absolutely nothing. I haven't seen another T movie in a long time, but I'm assuming it's as bad as I remember it. That was good. That shows you how far Chris Evans has come too.
Yeah, that's gratuitous exploitation to its highest right there.
I only saw, you saw it once. That's 5 times too many. That's hey, Spidey. I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's not. I mean, they're spoofing blaxploitation movies, which are basically its own whatever. But I mean, if you watch the blaxploitation movies from the 70s, they're not that far off. Fly Guy dude. Watch Willie Dynamite. You see Fly Guy, all right?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was Ruth. Yes, it was, and it was also not only that, it was also mean spirited. It's Ray. I love Ray. They actually have Rhea and Ruth. They have two very the, the way they describe something when they think it's terrible. They do it in a way where it's like a knock. It's like a knockout punch, but it's delivered like in a very like
Rhea does it with her she'll be
yeah.
happy with it. So
Yeah,
funny.
it's like that was so
Kinda-
mean spirited. And well, Ruth described. She said the same thing about Justice League. It's like that was absolutely dreadful. So you guys have a way of like just like penetrating, like just cutting deep with like just
well, because her accent makes it look cooler too.
It's yeah, Dracula and Dead Loving. I think that was actually Mel Brooks. That was the last thing he directed, and that was almost 30 years ago now.
He's still alive, right?
Yeah, he's like 100 million years old, but he's still alive.
Born in 1926. Yeah. He is 98.
You know what the funniest things he ever did actually that I really get a laugh out of? Anybody remember the Little Rascals movie from like '94? And they have the kids that go into the bank dressed like two rabbis. And they're trying to get money to repair their glove house, and he looks up at them. It's like, "What is your account number?" And they say, 7. That scene really makes you laugh. Little Rascals.
Now he did Hotel Transylvania in 2015, didn't he? No, he voiced him. What is the last thing? Wow, is he
Yeah, really,
retired?
that is amazing though. It's like he's 98 years old.
Like I said, he's almost a century.
Yeah, his son, of course, has gone on to. His son's like really well known for like his work in like the zombie genre.
Max.
Yeah, Max Brooks.
I'm just looking at his own. Yeah, he's one of a handful of people that have won the EGOT, which is the Emmy, Golden Globe, Academy Award. That's a lot. Emmy, Grammy, Academy Award, and Tony Award. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this had to have been true. This had to have been. Like, I can't get my head around like how else that was written.
Well, it's Dr. Seuss, so you're right. I mean, it's coming off of that, so there,
It was also coming off the Grinch too, because I mean, obviously that got greenlit because the Grinch was a hit, and but yeah, it's like people were on cocaine, when that got greenlit.
I mean, it's Dr. Seuss. You really don't. You really can start there. I mean, the premise of it is probably influenced by all the above. Like,
Chappie, we love you, man, but it's like, dude, please leave me. It's enough, okay? I can only take so much of the spoof and Cat in the Hat stuff.
I mean, I want to see. I mean, Green Eggs and Ham is literally about mind control. In my opinion.
That was actually the first when I was learning to read as a kid. That was the first book I actually read. Was Green Eggs and Ham?
Breaking of the spirit.
Yeah, well, it was something you guys want to do to me apparently on your. I do not like spoof movies, Brad. I do not like them at all. I'm not going to try to make this rhyme because the spoof movies suck that much. I do not like spoof movies at all. They're all terrible, like disaster movie and epic movie. I'm going to keep emphasizing this point until you all understand that I don't like spoof movies.
All right,
no, we're not. I don't think we're doing this either.
It would have to. We're not doing it, but if you draw 250, I might change my mind.
And
I've screened those movies. I was the only person in Vegas to screen those movies.
Because they had like a, kind of a, a little bit of a weird rollout, but the first one actually kind of keeps, for what it is, kind of keeps it somewhat cleanish, and then they just what I mean is like they don't. Compared to the second one, the first one was far less graphic. Is what I'm getting at. Like the second one, it's like they just take the.
Oh yeah, there's shit everywhere. I mean, yeah, and there's no, he's got the second one is, that the movie's in black and white, and the only thing that's in color is feces. So I'll leave it there. But you know what, Fourth, you want to do it, you know what to do.
No, those are I've never seen the third one either because it's like okay,
We're definitely not going to do a Twitch stream for those because we'll get shut the fuck down.
Mm.
We will get because the nudity in that is like prevailing. It's like throughout the movie. This guy, instead of like the first movie where he
we finally found Roots. We even Ruth has a line.
Well, so the guy sews people up ass to mouth, basically.
Yeah.
And in the first one, he's subtle about it. It's still nasty.
Yeah.
But it's subtle about it. He connects the digestive system, so it's just nasty.
And the second one is like what it is. It's kind of a meta thing where it's like a guy watches like in universe watches the human centipede, and he's like, okay, this sounds cool. I'm gonna make my own like ass to mouth centipede, and he gets like 12 people instead of their 3 in the original. But he's not a surgeon, so it's very surgeon. So it's very crude and very I mean,
yeah. And whereas the other guy covers them up a little bit, he's got them duct taped to each other and stapled to each other. They're it's bad.
And if something happens with a baby too, a newborn baby, into that I can't even describe.
Yeah, that movie, and like I said, he gives them. Let's just say he when he doesn't get the effect that he wants, he induces it.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that is like I haven't seen since it came out. Like that is absolutely stomach churning.
Yeah, if we did that, it would have to be for a lot because it would brand the channel in a way that there's no going back. There's no going back.
Yeah, I mean Terrifier. It's extremely graphic, but it's not getting into like fecal matter.
Yeah, and Human Centipede 3 was just completely garbage.
I haven't seen. I never saw it past 2.
Yeah, it's garbage.
What else? Spidey must be reading his last comment. Let me see if I can find it.
Are you starting to get like Anthony?
Yeah. William Greenhags and Ham's MK Ultra.
All right, you laugh. Read it. At the beginning, Sam I Am, the protagonist, wants nothing to do with green eggs and ham. By the time it's over, he's broken him. For no reason. Nothing changed. During the entire story, nothing changed. Nothing changed about the green eggs and ham. Nothing got added to the green eggs and ham. He went from not wanting to eat them with a fox, not wanting to eat them in a box, not in a car, not from afar. He went all of that. He was adamant at the beginning, but the constant repetition, the constant driving it into your head, and the breaking of the cognitive human spirit, and what happened at the end of it. He likes them. What changed? Nothing. You could say, well, no, he tried them, and it makes it no. He was adamant at it's green eggs and ham. You can look at the shit and be like, I don't want to eat that. But yet, he gets to the point where just by the constant repetitiveness, and that's what they were doing back in the era. The MK Ultra, you think you're laughing probably right now. There you go. What changed about the green eggs and ham from the beginning of the story to the end of the story that makes him change his man about eating him? Nothing. There we go. You're welcome.
Aaron's. I've not seen the himself. I've seen. Yeah, you don't need to be particularly. You don't need to be seeing any of them if you can't. And it's not even like the sight of blood. Like if you're not, this is like the epitome of body horror.
Yeah, don't do it. I don't know if you can.
When even Ruth says this is too much, that should tell you something.
Yeah, the scene I sent you from Last of Us, it's 10 times worse than that.
All right. Fourth, human centipede is important lesson. If you think Tarantino calls you movie parts, probably not really him. Yeah, that's probably true. Oh yeah, but again, you can get that lesson conveyed in like other ways. So
yeah, I remember the shirts that were around. Feed her. I'm like, they actually had shirts.
Oh God, that's man.
And it was a doctor. I mean, he was iconic for that. I mean, as far as you can get iconic for it was tough. And like I said, I aired those movies because I was the only one that aired those movies. We had an agreement with IFC at the time, and we sold out. I mean, I showed those movies until the crowd stopped showing. I had like 4 or 5 screens of those movies. Man.
Yeah, sometimes I'm amazed sometimes like with the like what well, like people like die hard like into and it really I think it kind of relates to like this time of year we start getting close to Halloween. People just when they have like that urge to like really get scared or really get dive into torture porn or anything like that when they when like the horror movie audience like when they're like we really want to just show us something that's going to push the envelope. I mean, how committed they can get to that is really sometimes I'm like, wow.
And yeah, that movie's actually, I'm gonna have to watch something to get that movie out of my head. But yeah, we'll do it. Somebody on second. I'm scared, Bruce.
Scared.
That's hilarious.
Well, Terrifier 3 again. That's the one. It's like I'm bracing myself for because it's when they. Actually, let me look up to see how long it's supposed to be. Because
they're not really rated. They're mature audiences, so you don't have they're unrated movies for the most part. So, Human Centipede didn't get a wide release. That's why I was the only person in Vegas that showed it. You could only see Human Centipede 2.
Well, I only discovered it. My sister mentioned it to me that it was kind of it was the kind of thing where it's like it sort of accrued a following or accrued kind of maybe it's better to describe as like accrued infamy as it sort of became known as the rollout happened. So
it was something else, man.
It doesn't say how long Terrifier 3 is going to be, but again, that's the big thing for me in the first two because again the first one I it's every bit as bloody as the sequel, but I can just really. I can handle it so much better because there's just so much less to handle. The first one. Ruth says, "Oh, I have no doubt about that, Ruth. I have no doubt they're gonna like come out swinging. They're just gonna come out guns blazing and just giving the audience what they came to see, Terrifier, and that is, it's lots and lots and lots of blood. I literally don't take any kids to it, not just because it's so all the blood and guts, but also don't traumatize them with that image of Santa Claus." As Art Clown, that's gonna be like, come on.
All right, I think I've ran out of shit to talk about.
Yeah. Well, we got started on Human Centipede. It's like, okay, that's gonna like just take us right down the toilet. No pun intended. Oh, really? It's gonna be it's longer the first one, but shorter than the second one. So that's gonna be okay.
Starting to hear reviews come out about Joker. I mean, I don't care about.
Oh yeah. So it's we're getting close to that now. We're about a month away.
Yeah, I got to find out if we're gonna. I hope we're promoting. I really do want to promote that movie. All right, guys. Please like, subscribe if you are watching on Twitter right now. Right below these two talking heads you've been watching and listening to, youtube.com/@the-Sci-Fi Center. We'd love for you to come over and join us and watch from there. I'm glad you found us doing from Twitter, but it benefits us a lot more if you subscribe to the actual channel itself. So please do.
Yes, please do.
All right, guys, that is about it. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Yes.
Pretty much doing. I'm committed to doing Oh So Happy It's Thursday. Just don't know how long it is because, like I said, I got a busy weekend. And a lot of, I'm guessing there might be some surprises in store for me because I am loved.
Yeah.
But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow night unless there's something stops me from being here, which I doubt. So, everybody, say bye.
Yeah. Great stream, guys. Try, everybody.
That word.